it's very important that we realize who we are. It was a journey for me to become the person I am today. You know, like I said, I've been in a lot of businesses, a lot of network marketing companies. I've been in a lot of careers, a lot of jobs, and I experienced a lot. And all these experiences I do not take for granted because that was my learning. That was the learning process for me to get who I am today. And I would not change anything. But I had to become myself. I had to become the person who I am today. And like I said, it was like a by it was tried by ever to get into that individual who I am today. And so, I preached this sermon a while ago in this year, and the title was "To Know Yourself." You have to grow yourself. You have to know yourself, and that's critical because too many people they want to grow, but before you to grow, you have to know who you are first, and that's critical for success. That's critical when you're going through this process, through this journey. You have to know yourself first. To grow yourself, you have to know yourself. Because if you don't know who you are, then you're gonna get into any and everything, and then and what's gonna do is gonna be a try and stop type of thing. Why? Because you don't know who you are. And that's the reason why I went into these different network marketing companies and these different businesses, because I went into it for the wrong reasons. I seen, that it was an opportunity to get money, but it wasn't really something that I wanted to do. It wasn't something that I love. It wasn't my passion. And so, and that's one thing I would tell people, that you have to become you first. You have to become you first. You have to become you first before you can grow. And so once you learn you, and how can you learn you? Through training, through coaching, reading books, reading podcasts like this. Listen,
Yes, sir.
listening to podcasts like this, so that you can get to know yourself better. Because once you know yourself better, I'm telling you, the sky's the limit. Because why? You ain't gonna get into everything. You're gonna get into the area of expertise. You're gonna get into the area of that field, of that business that you want to do, that you love to do, that you're passionate about. And so you won't be having oops. I preach the same about that as well. You won't have no oops in your journeys. Now, if you're 35 and older, you don't have time for oops. If you're under 35, now you got a little time to get to have a few oops and to experience some things to find who you are. That's why if you're 20 years old, 21 years old, it's okay to try some things so that you can find yourself, because it's a process, it's a journey until you find yourself. Sometimes you got to go through a few things. You got to go through a few careers, and maybe starting a couple of businesses, to know what you like and what you want to do.
Man, you touched on some great stuff that leads me into my next question. But like you said, like you have to know yourself. You have to know who you are, and getting to know yourself and developing on that is the genesis for, oh wow, it's the genesis for who you can become. But that
That's
leads
it.
me right into my next question. Like, when did you realize that your current life wasn't working? Like when you was going throughout life, like all these businesses, uh all these network marketing businesses, building the church, or like even before that, uh just coming to God, when did you know that, hey, like this isn't working? Like, because as humans, you know we follow a pattern. We're creatures of habit. So once we
Hmm.
follow the patterns of the world, we get the same things, which is like negativity and hopelessness. So, we all can look at that and say like, "Oh, I don't want that," but we would say like, we're crazy, because you look at everybody and that's what everybody's doing. Everybody is hopeless and everybody's negative. So, when did you say like, "Hey, this isn't working for me, and then you committed the action. Because a lot of people even get to that point and they say, I know this isn't working for me, but I'm still going to do it anyway. So when did you realize that this isn't working for me, and when did you take action?
Well, I do have to start at 25. I had to start when I was 25 years old. Um, I was a promoter. Oh, that's something I just came to. I was a promoter. I was a youth promoter. I was doing parties. And I think when I was 25 years old, I had a birthday party, for myself, in New York, and I noticed a change because I love going to parties. I was, yeah, I could go to I party 6 days a week, Tuesday to Sunday, 6 days a week. So I love to party. I love to meet people. I love to dance. But when I was 25, and because I was that type of individual, who loves to party, who loved to dance, um, at this party, there was a change because I did not dance. I fell asleep at the party. I fell asleep. I didn't, and I probably slept majority of the time. And because I fell asleep, when I woke up and I got home, I knew that my time was done. uh, I knew there was a change, but as well as it started because um, during parties, I didn't have a close friend who I used to talk to, and basically he was like a kind of mentor at that time, and showing me the game uh, uh, when doing parties, because I was transitioning from teens to adults. And so he was showing me the game. He was kicking game to me, and he passed away. And so when he passed away, I kind of had nobody to go to. So that was like kind of my shift, and to me changing from that party scene and clubbing and doing parties, you know, to the person, to accepting Jesus as Lord of my say as Lord. So when he passed away, even though I was still doing parties, but I noticed there was a shift because I had nobody to go to. And then when I was at that my 25th birthday, um, and I see myself going to sleep at the party. I knew it wasn't for me no more, but I was still doing it. And then one day I accepted Jesus as my savior. And then, like I say, just took me from a journey from there. And then from there, that's where I started. I went to school, did what I had to do. Um, but still, going to school, still in this process of becoming who I am today, still in the trial and everything, finding, looking, becoming who I am, going to different seminars, joining different groups, and starting new businesses, even while I was in school. And then I think 2019 was when I actually, you know what, the Spirit of the Lord actually convicted me, spoke to me at the end of the year, because I purchased two, because like I said, I don't mind spending money, because there's a saying, to make money you got to make money, you got to spend money. And I did pay for two training courses that I wasn't using because I was still trying other things. And you know 2019, and this is right before COVID too. 2019, I was convicted, and it said, and it was speaking to me. Don't buy any more courses. I have enough. Learn that first. Don't waste your money. Just get into, because I was the type of person that tried things. If I didn't like it, I stopped. I try it. If it didn't work out, I stopped. That was the type of person who I was. You
I
know,
could attest to that.
yeah, I get excited about the business, and then after a while, I get like, maybe I get bored, and then once I get bored, I wasn't interested no more. And I think that's what happened with the two courses. I started it, and then I got discouraged, and then I stopped, and I ain't go back to it no more. So 2019 is when it hit me, and the Spirit of the Lord said, "Nope, don't buy another course. You gotta, you got, don't buy another course. You got two courses. Focus on them. Focus on them." And so, and that's exactly what I did. I started focus on learning how to be a coach, learning how to train, to speak, and to do things. Just learning how to be a coach. I knew what I want to do, so I just started, and then it shifted because when COVID happened, I said, you know what, you know what, I'm gonna do the other course and learn real estate. And that's why I started learning about real estate when COVID. And I just dive in and I just went through all the, I went to majority of the modules that I needed to learn how to cold call, to learn how to prospect, to learn how to speak to potential clients who I'm trying to buy their house from. Just learning how to do that. Just learning how to run my numbers. Just learning how to do direct marketing to get potential leads, to talk to people, so that we can talk and I can find the correct solution for the client who trying to get rid of their house. So I just learned everything I need to know about real estate so that I could be affected. And when COVID happened, and so that's when 2019 was the shift for me, where I just started focusing on one thing. And that's something that it needed touched on because so many people, it's doing too much. You jump into something and then don't work out, then you stop, and then you buy something else and you try something else. And so you got to focus on one thing. And 2019 is when I started focus on one at a time. I had two courses and I focused on one at a time. When COVID happened, I focused on the real estate and I learned as much as I can. And then once I got it, I got the gist of um, cold calling, direct marketing, speaking to potential clients, running my numbers. Then I was able to focus on my other software, which was the coaching, learning how to be a more effective coach. And so once I was able to, then I was able to learn about the coaching side. And I'm still learning today because now I'm still looking for that property. And so to learn how to do the renovations and learning how to do my first flip and rehab. And that's another process that I have to learn. But because I learned how to cold call, prospect, get leads, get deals, and speak to clients, now I was able to focus on the coaching until I get that first deal, um, and and starting the rehabbing process. And then that's when I stopped coaching to focus on that next step, that next process.
That's amazing. Like, and it's crazy. It's ironic because it actually leads me